everyone, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am so excited about today's episode. We have the stars of the movie Ordinary Things joining us, Christina Duchesne and Julian Samoas joining us today. I am so excited for you all to meet them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome Julian and Christina. Hi, Julian and Christina. Thank you guys so much for being here today.
Hi, thank you for
having us. This is awesome. I'm excited.
I am so excited. It's such an honor to have you both here. So, Julian, we'll start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about the film and about the role that you play in the movie?
Yeah, absolutely. So essentially, it's a movie. Story goes, this girl, her mom, Danny, they're really, really close. Her mom is dying of cancer. And her mom's dying wish was to see her daughter married off and happy. So she devises a scheme with her childhood best friend, and they decide to get married in front of her so that she can, die happy. But she gets better and she gets healed. So then they have to continue the ruse. So it's I had a lot of fun. I think it's a great movie talking about how valuing it's in the title, valuing the ordinary things in your life, finding the beauty in the simple things, and being grateful for the things that you have, and counting your blessings. And
wow. That's so powerful. Yeah, finding the beauty in the ordinary things and counting your blessings. It's so important. So often we miss that. And Christina, your character in the movie, you had something right in front of you the entire time, but you kind of, your character missed it. So have you ever had that experience in your life where God has kind of placed something, maybe an answer to your prayers, and then you missed it, and then later on he revealed it to you? It was right in front of you the whole time. I know I've had that experience, but
yeah. I feel like all the time it can come in so many different ways. It doesn't have to be like a big thing, like someone. It can be like something, like you can just be going through something really hard, or even like trying to make a simple decision, which sometimes I have a hard time doing. I'm like, well, I can go this way and do this, or I could do that, or I don't know, maybe. And then it's just like, God's like, okay, calm down. Like, it's right there. So I feel like it's a range of things. Like, I feel like you can just have that with so many things, and even with people. So yeah, I feel like it happens all the time.
All the time. Yes. And God is in the ordinary things. I think that a lot of times we want this big giant, answer to our prayers or reveal or miraculous thing, but he's always in the ordinary. He's always he's with us in the ordinary and in everyday life. And that is so awesome. So can you relate to your character at all, Christina?
Yeah, I definitely, I feel like I definitely can. I feel like I'm at a point in my life where, honestly, like after filming this movie, it really did help me in my own life. Just calming down, having that patience to just be like, hey, like what you want is gonna come. It might not be in the form that you thought it would, but it's gonna be there. So just have that patience, have that trust in me, as in God, that it's gonna happen for you. Because I just feel like with Danny, she gets caught up in all the what ifs, and she gets caught up in like, oh, I could have this big sparkly thing, and like all this like crazy like stuff could happen for me, and she just gets lost in the like this, and this, that it's hard for her to see like the people around her, the things she already has, the things that she should be grateful for, which I think she is. But it's just hard for her to not want more and more and more and more, which I think a lot of us in this life can really get caught up in. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, it's such a powerful message behind the film. And another thing you mentioned was patience. And I know, Julian, your character, you had to practice patience,
Mm.
an extreme amount of
Tyler
patience.
tried. Tyler tried.
He did. He did. So, have you had that experience in your life where you've just had to be patient and wait on God for certain things to happen?
Yes, absolutely. Countless times. I know that I mean, even especially now, I feel like I'm going through a period in my life where I'm planning a big move, and I know it's really
Oh,
exciting, and but there's like a lot of waiting, a lot of hurry up and wait, a lot of pray and
mm,
wait, and then it's just a lot of logistics and a lot of things that need to fall into place. But I mean, there's so many times that I've had to practice that kind of patience because I am a very impatient person. Um,
same.
at least at the beginning, I always have to check myself,
Right.
and then I can kind of like with effort, I can do it. But my instinct is always just like, I want it now. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. But
Right. Yes.
so definitely, and honestly, exactly the same thing. Christina said, same thing with me. Like this movie, after working on the project, I feel like I've changed significantly. And getting into Tyler's mindset and having to practice like acting that patience out on camera
Yeah.
bled into my my real life, and it's been a blessing for sure. It's definitely made me a whole lot more level-headed and um a lot more confident, and I feel like I can trust that no matter what happens or no matter how much you need to wait or whatever, I'm gonna be good. I'm covered.
Yeah.
I got that safety net.
Amen. Amen. That's awesome. That's
Hmm.
incredible. Yeah, that's got it. God is so good in that way. And another theme in the film is just overcoming perfectionism, and just I think it's something that we all kind of struggle with a bit, and being people pleasers. I think that that's something.
Yeah,
It's a hard habit to break, right? And so, Christina, your
absolutely.
character was definitely a people pleaser. You're trying really hard to please your mom. And so, what
Mhm.
advice would you have for people who are struggling with overcoming that?
Yeah, this is also just advice for myself. I was
Me too.
because this is something I've struggled with for a while, and now I'm really kind of acknowledging it in my own life. That I do want to please people. I want to make sure everyone around me is happy. Like I'm the type
Yeah.
of person who avoids conflict at all costs. I don't want anyone like to be upset or upset with me. That it's just like so what I tell myself now is I have no control over how people feel.
Right.
I have no control of what people are going to do, what people are going to say,
Right.
and how things are going to turn out. Um, so it's just kind of taking that step back. And I feel like people pleasing also connects a lot with being a perfectionist,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
I'm also guilty of.
Me too.
So it's just that the letting go of it all is
Yes.
what I would suggest, give that advice to is just let go a little, take a step back. You don't always have
Right.
to make sure everyone's okay. You don't always have to
Yeah.
make sure that everything goes exactly the way you want it to. Like in an ideal world, like that'd be great. But it just doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
So just accepting that is really going to save you a lot of like hardship, anxiety in your life. So just learning how to slowly let go, take a step back, really see what's going on around you, um, I think would be my advice for
Mm.
Yeah.
my fellow people pleasers and perfectionists.
That's good, man. That's good. I'm
That's
I'm
great.
writing down notes.
Yes.
But honestly,
Yes.
this is since like kind of going back to like since we wrapped filming this movie, I feel like I have like gone through like a huge life change. Like a lot of like big changes have happened in my life, and also just getting closer to God has been like a huge thing for me because I like grew up going to church. I grew up Catholic, and then I feel like there were a couple of years where I kind of just strayed from God and going to church, and I just wasn't doing that anymore. Like I still believed,
Right.
I still had that faith, but it just wasn't strong. And I feel like that led to a lot of hardships and struggles during that time. And then I feel like after this film, it was like the film itself was eye opening for me. And then there were people that came into my life afterwards that just kind of have changed me for the better. And I feel like, I don't know, it's just been like a huge life transition for me. So I think that's why I'm like, I feel like I can say so many things and have all this advice because I'm like going through stuff and really
Right.
learning about myself and who I am as a person and just accepting myself in general is just like a huge thing. So yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely something that I think we all have to do, and we all have to learn, just accepting ourselves, and just having that confidence, and just being easier on ourselves, because I think we're sometimes so hard on ourselves, and we try to be perfectionists and all of that. So
Yeah.
absolutely. And
Mhm.
yeah, God is so good to be patient with us and to bring us back, even if we take time away. He's always there waiting for us, to come back
Mhm.
and to spend that time with him and grow in our relationship with him. So that's awesome. Awesome. And I could ask you
Mhm.
the same question, Julian. Have
Yeah.
you had that experience with, just overcoming being a perfectionist and all of that?
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, I actually I can tell a story right now about a little behind the scenes about the filming process.
I
Please
knew
do.
you were gonna say this. I
I knew
already
you
know
knew.
what scene you're talking about. I
Yes,
was ready
yes.
for it.
So I mean, I don't know, it's not really like spoiler or anything, but like
Yes.
so there is like a scene where Danny and Tyler are talking in like the kitchen that he's renovating in his house.
Mhm.
And that's kind of like, it's not really like a breakup, but they were having like, that's probably the highest that they were conflicting. And it's like after this big bomb dropped at a party the night before. And going into that scene, that was the scene that we had auditioned with.
Mhm.
And we had done like our chemistry reads together. And I remember that in that room when we had first done it, I was like, oh, this feels great. Like it was rolling. It felt awesome. It was easy. Like we were playing off of each other, and Christina's the best co-star ever. So it was really easy to go back and forth. But then when it came to actually filming that scene, I was just in my head the entire time because I was like, oh, well, this has got to be good though, because this got to be this is the big scene in the movie where and then I've got all these lines, and then we're going back and forth, and it was like we were doing longer takes. I think that was probably the longer takes that we've done. One of the scenes that had the longer takes that we had filmed. So I was just so like in my head about it, and I wanted it to be perfect. And it was affecting the performance because we were doing take after take after take. And our director, Micah, he come up, he's like, hey, okay, just let's try it again. Just like do this thing here, try this. Okay, cool. Do it again. Still wasn't really hitting. And I was just like, and then Christina came up to me, he's like, hey, dude, it's okay. Just breathe. Just be here now. Doesn't matter. We'll just work with each other. And it definitely helped a lot. But I was just paralyzed with I wanted this to be perfect. And I was thinking about it so hard, and I was harping on that in my head so much that it was totally taking me out of the moment and totally pulled me out of the whole point of the entire scene, of the entire
Mhm.
movie, really. And it was really eye-opening. It was really interesting afterwards, because this movie working on this project has called me out on a lot of things ever since I
Yeah.
first got that script. So perfectionism is definitely one of those. And you can even, I mean, Vanessa Rodriguez played Elena. It's my mom, actually.
Yeah.
And
In
you
real
can,
life?
in real life, that is my mother.
What?
It's wild.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so awesome.
So it's a little family thing. But you can ask her, man. I would come back from not even just these shooting days, just any day, and I'd just be like harping about, oh, I did this wrong, I did this thing, I did this. So she has listened to me talk her ear off about all the imperfections and everything that I could have done right. But it is definitely, I have definitely been working on that, and with this project, it is definitely, I'm like Christina said, I'm changed. It's a nice reminder to me to look back on this project and the memories that we've had filming this and be like, hey, it's gonna be okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be good enough for this right now, right in front of you. So yeah, that's my little.
I thought you did great in that scene. I could not tell that you were having any issues. It was really good.
Well,
I
that's probably
love
Christina's doing. She was the one who was like, hey, calm down, it's okay, and then we got it.
I think you all did great.
Thank you
It's such
so
a good
much.
movie. Yeah, and I hope that everyone can go and watch it. It's just so good. I loved it. So how did you all get those roles? I mean, how did that all come about? How did you find out about the film and all that?
Well, that's fun. That's fun actually. So I think I have been in every single Living Word Studios project. I think it's like 8 now, but if there's some capacity or not. So like whether I'm a background extra or just like some guy who has one line or been a lead or whatever, I've always been involved somehow. So
Awesome.
and I went to Living Word, the church that the production company is founded off of. So I knew a lot of these people beforehand as well. So I've been there from the beginning, and it all kind of started off as like, hey, let's try making movies. And I was just like 14-year-old me was like, let's try it. I want to do it. And then here we are. So they had written this script for Ordinary Things, and I got a call from Jen Tobler, who wrote the script. And she's like, hey, we want you to read for this just to see if it works. And we're like, oh, okay, sure, why not? So then they auditioned a bunch of other people as well, and we kind of like went audition to audition, and then we ended up getting to the final thing. It was really fun. It was awesome.
I did not know that. I did. That's incredible. Wow. That's so cool. How about you, Christina? How did you?
For me, it was actually my agent submitted me for the project. So I just got like a email where they submitted me, and Living Word wanted me to audition. So I sent, I think it was like 2 self tapes from home, where I was just reading the scene, and then they asked me to come in for, I think it was the chemistry read right after, maybe? Or no. There was a callback where they asked me to come in with just me and them, with Micah, Jen, and Jody. And I just kind of read in front of them. And then they just kind of sat me down, and we just like talked about it. And we talked about like even like my faith and everything. It was just kind of more of like a one-on-one getting to know each other. And there was like other girls too that were like waiting to go in as well. And then they were like, okay, you'll be hearing from us soon. And then they asked me to come in for the chemistry read. And that's where I read with Julian and a bunch of other guys who were also auditioning for Tyler. And then I read with Vanessa. And I think she was the only Elena that was there.
Mhm.
Maybe I don't remember, but I remember I just read with her, and then after that, um, I think like a couple weeks later is when I heard that I got the role. But yeah, it was through my agency that I found this because I didn't even know the church existed. I didn't know anything
Mhm.
um, about this studio, so I was just kind of going in blind and hoping for the best. But I just remember from the initial audition they sent me that I really liked the character and the scenes that they wanted me to read for. So I was like, oh, this is exciting. This is interesting. Um, but yeah.
Well,
Yeah, good.
I'm still. It's also so I'm still pretty new, I would say, to like the professional world of acting. So I only really started, fully sending out my auditions and tapes and agents and all that, maybe like about a year ago, a little bit over that, I think.
Mhm.
And it was wild to me because I want to tell the story. I actually had met Christina. We had met, I think, the week before or 2 weeks before
Hmm.
by total chance, which is really funny. We didn't really interact all that much, but I remembered we were both at this audition for was it Jersey Boys? I forget what it was.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was a musical
a
happening
musical.
at one of the local theaters.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we just kind of like passed one another, and I don't know what we even talked
I
about,
think
but I
we
think
just
he
made
like,
small talk for like 3 minutes. That was
yeah,
it.
but
And then like
yeah.
I think it was maybe literally I think it was like the
Mhm.
next week or 2 weeks later.
Hmm.
Going for the chemistry read, and I was doing like the stuff with Tyler and all the different Christinas, not Christinas,
Christina's.
Danny's, all the different Danny's. And then we got to Christina. We did. It's like, oh, this felt great. And then I remember we kept on staring. I'm like, I feel like I've seen you before. And then you brought it
Hmm.
up, and then Christina was like, "Were you at?" I'm like, "Yeah." So it was like that
Hmm.
Oh,
rocked me. That was wild, like a total coincidence. And I know that I'm sure
Hmm.
that happens a lot
Hmm.
to because a bunch of actors in the same area probably always see each other, and I've experienced that now as well. But at the time, that was like, oh, I was a little starstruck because I'd also heard a little bit of the audition for the musical, and I was like, oh, that's so
Oh my
cool.
gosh. Mhm.
well, I definitely think it was it was a God thing, it was divine that you guys met beforehand. And then, you both were, picked for the roles and you both did an incredible job in those roles. I want to see more movies
Mhm.
with you in them. I think you guys were incredible and it's been such an honor to have you both here. Can you tell us where we can watch Ordinary Things?
Mhm.
Yeah, I know for sure. I know it's on YouTube. It's on
Yeah.
Prime as well.
Mhm.
And Tubi,
It's
was
on
it?
Tubi? I
Yeah,
think
Tubi.
Tubi. Yeah,
And
Prime, Tubi, and YouTube, I believe.
I think that I want to say that there's more, but those are the three that I know for sure.
Mhm, mhm.
Yes, I'll have them
Yeah.
listed so everybody. And if people want to get in touch with you guys or follow along on your, your journey and everything that you guys have going on, do you have any like social media pages or anything like that you can share that we can let the audience know where they can find you guys?
Yeah. Y'all can follow me on Instagram. That's like my main social. At Christina Duchesne. So that's my main. And then you can follow me on IMDb too to see like my other works and stuff that I've done. But yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and same here.
Awesome.
Instagram, IMDb. On Instagram, I'm Jules Samoas, I think it is. JULZ Samoas.
Yes.
And that's probably what I use the most. And yeah.
Mm,
Awesome. Well, thank you both
mm.
so much for being here. It's been so much fun getting to know
Of
you and
course.
hearing, everything. And yes.
Thank you
And
so much for
everyone,
having us.
Absolutely. Thank
yes.
you. It's an honor.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. And everyone go watch Ordinary Things. And thank you all so much for listening. Yes. Have a wonderful day and God bless you.